So this mare's never had a rope, never had a nothing. We got things to do today, so she's gonna get broke. And that's just how it is. So all you round pen divines, just go get yourself a Coke. We'll be riding this horse in an hour. And I'm not telling you that's the way, I'm just telling it's the way we're doing it. So move.
Haven't we saddled this horse once before?
Nope.
Must have been a different colt.
Does she look like you've saddled her once before?
No.
Or ever combed her off?
Nope. I'm gonna catch this saddle before it hits the dirt.
With a band of cowboys down the Grand Canyon to catch some cows right on the last bench above the water. And I rode a 3-year-old Morgan mare. And none of them gave her a snowball's chance of getting there in the first place. And then when we started to head back, they said, you'll never get that mare out of here in this heat. You'll walk all the way. Well, that was the first trip. And it's, well, to tell you the facts, only one man in the last, since 1940 something, has ever ridden out of that trail and not gotten off his horse. Only one. Until, what, about 5 years ago? And there's a story that goes with it. But anyway, long story short, I had about a 2.5 to 3 hour nap at the cabin on the rim before the first horse came over the top of that trail on her mother. And then I bred her to a horse that's harder than boiled owl. Whoa. So this filly, rough as she looks, is exactly what I breed for. Because when she's fat and 5, she'll be a force to be reckoned with. You're in a real bad spot if she comes forward. Anyway, I've got a dozen riders waiting on me, so I can't tell you the whole drama behind her. But the end of the story is they invited me back. And when I went back, they had a couple Mexicans there trying to shoe their horses with roofing nails and a framing hammer. Now, I couldn't believe it, Mustangs. And they lost their whole string of horses, took off. And they looked around and all those cowboys says, well, I'm not gonna wear my horse out before the longest day of my life. Well, I'm not gonna wear my horse out. And these poor Mexicans that were coming to help, they were good guys, didn't speak a lick of English. And they says, por favor, hombre, you catch our caballo. So I took off on that mare. And I'll just tell you what, if you know anything about the Grand Canyon country, it was not easy. It was not small distance, and it was not smooth traveling. But I brought the whole band of horses back in with a whip and a crack. It looked just like the man from Snowy River coming over that mesa. Here came all the horses. Right behind it at a dead gallop was this horse's mother. And that's before we started the ride. But to add even worse, I found that my knife, which I've never had come out on me, but in all that rowing and chasing Mustangs, my knife had come out of my scabbard. And that knife had sentimental value. I had it for 25 years. So I told them, go ahead without me. I was going back for my knife. How I was going to find it, I mean, needle in a haystack seems rather optimistic for what I was up against. But I went out there and I said, please God, I said, that knife's been with me 25 years. It's cut a lot of testicles off of a lot of horses and cows. Gutted a lot of deer. Let me find it. And I'm not lying to you, that horse didn't take 2 steps and stepped pert near on that knife. I got off, thank God, got back on the mare, caught up to him. Now, maybe 10 miles down the track. Went clear to the bottom, gathered the cows, had a little drink at the springs, rolled out my bedroll. Then one of those fatheads got the idea they had to go to a wedding, and he was the guy driving the truck. Never told anybody. We had all of our stuff. So we all piled back on after that mare had done all that work, and I thought, that's too much to ask. She was 4 by then. Too much to ask of one horse. I said, I'll walk out of here. But then she kind of winked at me and said, I got a little in the tank. So I said, well, I'll just ride you till you look like you're getting winded, and then I'll walk. Long story short, I was a full 6 hours nap, and the moon had come out when those guys first came over the rim to get that trailer loaded on that mare, and that's her mother. So what I'm saying is, when you look at a rough, hairy colt that's never been saddled or ridden and still kicking at you like she is, don't remember, the steel here is good. We just got to sharpen it a little. And it looks like it needs a little forging besides. Because skinny as she is, she's probably still a better horse than 90% of what we're going to see. Because she is bred out of all my favorites. Think I'll make a mare for my wife out of this one, Jim? Yeah. I guarantee no one behind that camera does. The thing is if my wife ever gets hurt on a horse, I won't stand a chance in court. We've seen what you put your wife on. Well, the truth is, I had a horse come back. The guy didn't like him. He was a great horse, but the guy was kind of a smudge pot. But he was an old war vet from Vietnam. So I got a soft spot for her. You see how she gets longer every time? She's learning where that comb goes. I'm not sure I can dodge the next one. Oh, just so we hear each other, we both kick, babe. Anyway, she doesn't care. She says, that's the best you got. You hit mostly halt. Don't bite me. See how she's starting to look like I can still get him? I'm telling you, when you breed them good, you better get ready. All right, good enough. Everybody's waiting on us. Don't screw it up. Ooh. I don't know if this cinch will suck down short enough for her. Oh, sis. I call this the miracle saddle because it was built by somebody in Texas, which we know can't know anything about saddles. Whoa, and this saddle fit any horse. I don't care what it is, short withered, flat withered, high withered. I love this saddle. You can tell how much I love it because it's all tore up. The saddles I have that don't look like they've ever been used, it's not because I'm special about them, it's because I just don't love them. By the way, never do your breast collar before your cinch, ever. That is a wreck just waiting to happen.
Is your cinch deed up on the other side?
Maybe. We'll see. Where's Winnie's cookies? It's time to Pat Pirelli this horse. Oh, we got yards. Think it's ready for the beach ball? Yep. Remember when I went down to that Ty Evans clinic and they were throwing beach balls at mules, and I rode that crazy Max Bishop mule in there, and I didn't know they were having a clinic. His wife let me know after the clinic. Nobody told me. They said, just get on this crazy mule and see if this bit works. All right.
Well, that mule was entered in the clinic.
Oh, well then he paid his right to be there.
Yeah.
Why were they all fussing?
Yeah. That mule was paid.
All right, now, I don't know that this.
You got a top strap for that?
Yeah, sort of. Tell you what, we will have one in a second.
I got some.
Don't put your head right here, right after she kicked right there. This is why they have, most people wear a helmet. Most of my friends say, don't wear a helmet, just wear a gag. We can take you getting hurt, we just can't listen to another word. Ooh. Keith!
Wooly.
You've slipped away to the long ear world.
Well, I had to put my other mule down, so I got a replacement. I'm trying to bond with this one before I get back to riding Arby.
Well, I thought you might be riding RB, or That Mustang you had for a long time you loved.
Yeah, Traveler.
When I showed up here and saw you on that mule, I figured, well, they say at a certain age everybody's testosterone just leaves them. That's a sure sign.
Yeah, it's a sure sign. Yeah,
When you start riding a...
Another 4 weeks on her, and then I'll go back to my spotted saddle.
Tyree said he rode that RB horse and didn't think he was quite cowboy enough for that kind of action.
He was on him for about about 10 days he spent on Arby. And of course, Arby stood up to his name. You know, he was everything that he got named for.
All right, we're ready to go. You can use that red, oh sis, you can use that red bridle that's on yours once you, I think Trail's gonna fight you for the right to top this.
No, I want to ride it.
We'll see. Hey, don't move because this is the tricky part. Oh sis, she's not exactly a willing participant. Okay, this is a trade secret. I don't show everybody how to do this. They always say, how do you get your rope back off of there? Well, this is how. It helps if they've learned to give any. In fact, in her case, because she's so good to kick at me, I think I'll just take it off. How about that?
As soon as I'm
if
done.
you have a mule, it's best to loop it and pull it up. Oh, sis, what do you say? You and me let bygones be bygones. She says, in a pig's eye, cowboy. Ooh. Hey, that's all the entertainment.
Let me hold the Palomino.
Just for a second. Ooh. Now don't get your face pawed off. You need me to snub her while you put the bridle on her, probably.
Hold that front.
There you go. That might fit her just the way it is.
It's too loose.
Too loose. She's got a tiny little head.
He got a spawn.
Horse ride?
Yeah, first anything. Well, we're not the first ride yet. We got first saddling about half hour ago. Now we got first bridling.
That is so funny.
Have we got it in the right order?
I don't know yet.
Cool hand, Luke.
Hey, you got your trail?
I already did. He was all crying earlier.
You got your ring.
What'd you say?
I just said that Jim's the only one that's never let me go yet.
Never let it go.
Out of 400 to 4.
Yeah. Yeah, there ain't much there in odds, is it?
I can't.
No,
you know what?
I was just joking.
If I could capture the wine that has gone on right here, I'd put half of the bottling companies out of business.
Okay, let's lead her out.
You want that or not?
Sure. Use it or not?
No, you don't need it.
Oh, I
You
don't.
don't need it. Okay. I'm going to turn it all to you. Okay.
Well, get on this one. There you go, yeah.
We chose us a good windy day so you didn't have any trouble. Don't get that horn under his rein. You're going to want to get up a little bit tighter. You're going to get hooked right there. You only get 3 attempts and then Josh is up. Did he spill his pop? Oh, you never even opened your pop. Okay. We go. Whoa. You better lead out, Jim. We'll hurry up behind you. I hope that's not an energy drink. Like he needs any of that. Ken to my love. That's the first ride. You can tell how smooth she is already. My stallion's gonna buck me off before I get a shot. Come on, fella. Oh. You couldn't be in better hands, except for maybe one. That's a pretty brave rider. Has to ride with one hand on his soda pop and the other hand on his reins. It's a good thing we don't have a cigar for him. I think he'd give up the reins. Trail, you couldn't be safer if you're in the hands of the Lord. And you got a better chance with Jim than you do the Lord anyway.
Go out, Black's a little humor, so he throws you down here and there.
I'll just be real careful for the next half hour how you throw that around. He might get even with you.
Yeah, he might. I'm just saying, I've seen him do it to me a few times.
He's got a little snot. Oh, don't you? Yeah, you bite if you could.
He tried to bite me already today.
He was kicking at my mare earlier and she down bit him on the ass. Oh, that was when you were leaving.
I think I like your mule. She doesn't seem to be bothered at all.
Well, I started her on them dang things of Lamonts.
Well, you can't go, there's nowhere but uphill from there.
The hardest I've ever been thrown down is one of the monster out before.
I couldn't even get a bridle on her without tying her in the trailer so she couldn't bang her head. She'd try to eat you. I took her in that route hit him. And Mikey had one of them big old colts there. He said, I gotta have somebody to help. I took her over and she got her. And we tried to laugh at her. Right? That old big, that worked good 1,600 pounds. She realized she was not enough for her. She was when we finally threw that thing, he went up in the air like this, boom, knocked all the air out of him. I had the head, I kept her, and she just like this, like she'd been doing for.
How do you beat that?
And so I've done, I don't know, 20 owners so far.
Vermont horses, when they decide to buck,
Oh, when they're nasty, they're nasty.
I had one throw me down once, and it threw me. I tumbled in the air.
One of those is the one that threw you over the fence and
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. He threw me.
it was the neighbor lady had to call the cops or
Because I'm laying there, she's like, he's dead.
threw him into an irrigation ditch.
I went over a 6-foot fence, went on the other side of it, a good 12 feet on the other side of that side.
Well, I want it here noted that I didn't do that to you.
I'm dragging it through this wood.
She's worried about what I'm doing.
How old is that colt?
2. You know, I had a picture of you on that big black percheron snubbing those kids over in Kanab. People said, what the heck is there? Are those miniature horses?
semi still.
Because
That's
you
weird.
don't have him in the thinny mule.
Yep.
Look at Scout's foretell
The Scout's a dick, so he has to be in with himself.
himself.
Come on, Colby, turn your head.
Oh!
Woo!
It's a loop if I ever seen one.
Oh, that was a loop for the boys.
Don't worry, I got it on film. He'll walk.
That's where you're rolling. And your hands like this. So if my fingers point, that's where I'm at. That's why when I rope a spear heading, my hand has to come over. When I throw it, see it come around?
Yeah.
Well, I don't rope until I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want that coming here, and I want my tail to come around like this and fall on the back.
Yeah.
So when I'm healing, my hand's here. Remember, wherever you point, that's your rope. So how my hand is, how I'm pointing, that's my rope. So if I'm doing too much of this, see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I collapsed it.
Yeah.
So I'm here. See it? I'm here. So if I'm heading, I'm here. I'm looking right down the top here. Okay? If I'm healing, I'm here. See it?
Yeah.
So I don't even close my
So
hand
you-
until I start this motion. Okay?
Yeah. No, I definitely.
So your finger, where you're pointing is where it's going. How y'all doing? Beautiful day, huh?
Yes.
Uh-huh. How y'all? Gorgeous day. See what I'm doing with him? See my arms? How
I
my
do.
elbows are in. Okay?
Right?
So he's wanting to get bouncy because they're getting away from him.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm going to pick my feet up. Okay? But I want him to roll his back. Okay?
Right?
And drop. See, he still hasn't dropped where I want him. But did you see him slow down?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I did the slow down with my feet, not my hands. My hands are still where they were. Okay, I want him to start doing this, giving the face, but I want to feel him picking up. Because if I'm going to do a maneuver afterwards, say I'm going to spin right or spin left or whatever, or just turn, I want him here so he can do this.
Right.
So, because he's got to have a leading foot. So I want to make sure where my feet are, he'll get a leading foot.
That makes sense.
Where's Mikey today?
He's working. He worked yesterday. We had a big group, and then today he had a bunch of stuff. He was thinking up and he had to come back and let me go. He just stayed. He was roping last night, heading a little bit.
Oh, so he came off?
He's starting to see more.
I got a lot of birds here. That's all they do.
You know what? Just get team horse. You gotta be a good owner and handle cow and horse. Most of them don't.
I know.
They just rope. And Mike's come along so fast with the roping part because
Josh,
he's been in
will
the
you do me a
pen.
favor?
He's been
Yes,
all
sir.
fast. Remember us? Don't stay down. you a place that you can balance against, like your saddle. And then remember, don't keep pulling back. And don't release it, just let them find it. I know it don't make sense, but Sean's the one that taught me that. And boy, it works. I'm you.
Yeah. Just kind of hold your hands up on the swells there.
So I'm just right here. I'm not going to get them any tighter.
Right?
And I'm riding with my feet. So instead of her going faster when I put my feet to her, she collects more. And I know it don't make sense. It isn't me, but it dang sure works.
I see what you're saying. I just gotta help him figure it out.
What's that?
I see exactly what you're saying. I just gotta figure out how to.
Well, you know what I was doing? I was releasing my reins instead of my feet.
Oh.
Because what we're wanting them to do is move collectively.
Right?
Hold that head down all the time. There you go.
So if they're the ones that have to find it. Because you're just going steady with it. So instead of a release, you're taking them to the next stage.
Right.
I'm doing pretty good on that.
I'm still learning it.
It's hard.
I still can't release too long.
Right?
I've run a lot of nice saddles off, and that's not the best, but just my size.
Yeah.
But I think my best
It's just hard to know.
I'll have a little more room.
Takes time to figure it out.
Yeah, you just play with it. Play with it. I didn't get it for like 3 or 4 days.
He kicked it.
There must be a while I did it. Sean was
Please!
good God.
Well, if I want to get somewhere with training, better figure it out. Easy, mule, easy.
I wasn't even there because I was on the play Brokeback Mountain. You know what? Imagine this Brokeback part. Hey, you be sweet now. Yeah, you tell that stud colt who's what. He must be half pleasure. He likes to get whipped. You gonna teach that stud colt some manners, or?
Easy, Mule. Easy. Easy.
Wow, he's doing it better than I did. Oh, was.
Go, keep going.